Hi, welcome back to Anne's Kitchen. Today, we're going to be making charoset, which is a traditional symbol for the Passover seder. Passover is just 2 days away. I brought with me a seder plate so you can see the different symbols of the Passover seder. There is lettuce, there's parsley, a roasted egg, bitter herbs, a shank bone, and our charoset. The charoset itself is supposed to resemble the mortar used by Jewish slaves in Egypt when they were building cities for Pharaoh. In order to build something that resembles the mortar, today we'll be using apples, about 6 or 7, pecans, about 8 ounces, 4 ounces of raisins, a little cinnamon, a little sugar, and of course, our Manischewitz wine. The first thing that we'll be doing today is taking our apples and we're going to quarter them, peel them, core them, and put them into the food processor. So here we have our apple, and we just very easily take off its skin like this. Remove the core and roughly chop it. And we'll put that right into our food processor, and we'll do that with all 6 or 7 apples. Okay, here we have our apples. Gone into the food processor. You can see the consistency. Put the last one here in our bowl. And then at this point, what I like to do is put in about a tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm going to come over and get one of my lemons here. I'm in California, so we're fortunate we can grow these lovely lemons in our backyard. And need about a tablespoon. I have my tablespoon here. Okay, toss that in. I tend to like things a little tart, so that helps with the flavor. All right, now we're on to our next step. Okay, we've washed out our food processor from the apple and dried it. Next, we're going to add our 8 ounces of pecans. If you prefer walnuts, that's fine, but people in my family prefer the pecans. And there we go. That's all it takes. We have our ground almonds. They go right in there. And our last step, take our raisins. They go in. Now we're ready to make our mortar. Let's give this a mix. See if we like the looks. This should be enough for 15, 20 people. So if there's just going to be 2 or 4 of you, just cut the recipe in 1/3. Now you can start to see what we look like. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is add our seasonings. And the first thing we do is we add our cinnamon. Some ground cinnamon. We'll start with about a teaspoon. I'm not always the most exact, but here we go. And mix that in. Now I put a 1/4 cup of sugar here, which might be a little much, but let's go ahead and put in about half of it. And we'll see if we like how that tastes. We can always add more. Okay, and now we are on my favorite part. I call it one for me and one for you. And the point of adding the wine is to bind all of this together so that you can make a scoop and put it on a plate. So I'll get myself a little l'chaim here. And we will add about 6 tablespoons. We'll start 1. Oh, I forgot the one for me. 1 for me. 2. 3. I actually prefer the blackberry Manischewitz, but all the stores were out right now, so I found an old bottle of grape, and this will do. Oops. 4, 5, 6. Let's try that. Oh, yes. Now it's getting the color that we like. I think if the Jewish slaves ate too much of this, the pyramids would have been more crooked, but nevertheless, this is what we have. I'm going to give it a taste. We can use the whole 1/4 cup. Still a little tart, and I'm going to give it another 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, let's see. That's it. Perfect. Now you can make this a couple days ahead. It will hold fine. I always like making extra because it's a perfect snack with matzah during the week. So I hope you enjoyed this. And this year we are all slaves in quarantine, but next year may we all be free. L'chaim and happy Passover.